Okay, everyone. It's been a long morning for me here in Alice Springs, the centre of Australia, up nice and early as is my wont. I've already done all of my exercises to ensure my hands remain strong, dexterous and efficient. Yeah, I do that every morning, you know that, and this morning was absolutely no exception. In a recent podcast, I spoke about ensuring that a tragedy that befalls us can lead to us doing exceptional things or can lead us to descend. I did say it should hopefully lead us to be a defining moment where we rise above the ashes and do something magnificent. And so, if I think of examples of people who have done that, I think of Glen McGrath, who, after the death of his wife, the passing of his wife with breast cancer, went on with the help of some of his wife's friends, of course his wife being Jane McGrath, his late wife, Jane McGrath, and Glen, with the help of the friends of his late wife, went on to form the Jane McGrath Foundation. And that foundation has raised millions and millions of dollars to support the employment of breast care nurses right throughout Australia, particularly in the regions. This has been a magnificent initiative, all on the back of tragedy. So Jane McGrath's legacy lives on and on and on through the magnificent work of her husband, of course, Glen McGrath. For those who are not aware, Glen McGrath was a former fast bowling champion for Australia in cricket, and he would have been in despair with the passing of his wife. But as I said, he has absolutely exemplified that term beauty can come from ashes. And he did not allow this to become the defining moment that pulled him down. No, it lifted him up. It lifted him up. Although I'm sure he would much, much prefer to have his dear wife with him, what he has done through the power of tragedy and through being as positive as is humanly possible against all of the odds, what he has done has potentially saved the lives of so many women throughout Australia who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I'm sure there are survivors of breast cancer that can be directly attributed to this wonderful foundation. And so I also think of other heroes. I think of Daniel Morcombe's parents, Denise and Bruce Morcombe, who in the wake of the murder of their son, taken, I believe, abducted from a bus stop and murdered. Daniel Morcombe, at 13 years of age, approximately 20 years ago. I mean, unimaginable tragedy, unimaginable grief, unimaginable hardship, unimaginable pain. as a parent of young boys, I think so much of both Denise and Bruce and the pain they must have been through and are still going through. It would never leave you. But they have turned this incredible tragedy into something special in the Daniel Morcombe Foundation. And this foundation, its aim is to rid Australia of sexual predators just like the one who abducted Daniel and murdered him. Yes, rid Australia of such creatures. But the foundation also wants to start a conversation amongst all of us about ridding Australia of sexual violence toward children, full stop. Because as we know, such predators exist everywhere and for all sorts of reasons. So we owe it to children right throughout Australia to have conversations with our children about keeping themselves safe, being aware of the dangers, developing strategies to ensure that they don't become a victim of such heinous crimes. This Friday, the 27th of October, the Foundation has titled A Day for Daniel. A Day for Daniel. And during this day, on Friday, they have asked us to maybe have a conversation with our own children. Not in order to scare children, but to ensure that they are informed, to ensure them that they can set up a network of people just through discussion that they can rely upon should they feel threatened in any way, should they feel vulnerable in any way, should they feel uncomfortable in any way. Yeah, just start the conversation about who they can rely upon in such moments, in such hours, at such times. A great idea, a great initiative. Because this is where it starts, conversations. It does. This is exactly where it starts. I'm going to have a conversation with particularly with my son, Rion, but I'll also talk to my ex-wife about ensuring that our daughter, Eden, is safe. I also have an older son and I have grandsons now as well that are only toddlers, but these are the sorts of conversations we need to start having and need to keep having. And we do need to develop strategies amongst families to ensure that our children can absolutely get to know the right people, the secure people, the friendly people, the loving people. So I applaud this initiative by the Daniel Morcombe Foundation through the incredible strength and love and dedication of both Denise and Bruce Morcombe. You know, this is what I'm saying. Tragedy can bring us down or rise us up. It is a defining moment. But how it defines us is up to us and how we approach it. Although, can I say that being in grief is okay. Being in mourning is okay. As long as it doesn't mean that we entirely retreat as long as the perpetrators of such crimes don't have another win. No, these sorts of mongrels cannot be afforded another win. You need to rise way, way, way above their depravity. We do, we should, and we must. So I say that Glen McGrath and also Daniel and Bruce Morcombe are heroes. They are heroes. They are heroes of the most extraordinary type, because they could be excused for being continually in mourning, continually depressed, continually out of sight, out of mind. But they've chosen to do quite the reverse through their experience with tragedy. And I celebrate them right here on Blind Magic in Alice Springs. I do. I celebrate them. This has been episode 458 of Blind Magic in Alice Springs, and this has been a Blind Magic Communications production.